Hi, I'm She. Welcome to my Conscious Energy Healing channel. Today's energy, starting with April 16th, 2019, is a day when you add those numbers in numerology, you come up with 5, and 5 is for changes. Today's energy I'm using is Seiheki. So, Seiheki. Seiheki is the key to the universe. It brings balance and harmony for us, for the energy that's going to take us through the next week, through the weekend, up till next Tuesday. Anxiety and fear. So the intent for this reading is a healing of mind and body. Seiheki brings together healing of the emotions. And when we look at Reiki, we look at the chakra system, and based on those chakras is where healing begins in the body. Sometimes our emotions affect certain areas of our body. We think an injury, a physical injury, may be the cause of pain. Sometimes it's emotional energy. So Seiheki is an energy that addresses our physical ailments as well. And it also brings the higher spirit, God and man become one. The color, if you want to choose a color this week, this is the first time I've talked about this, but if you want to choose a color to wear during the week that will help with the healing of balance and harmony and bring love into our life, or partnership if you're working on a business adventure, it helps us find those soulmates, those soul partners to help us reach and achieve our goals and our focus. So wear pink, wear violet and white. The energy of this stone also is resonating with that violet color, purple, white color. And I would say add color of pink to the wardrobe. I've meditated this morning, did a lot of meditation this morning. Yesterday, the fire that happened in Paris of the Notre Dame Cathedral was sad, was very sad. But I understand today, through many, many prayers and blessings, a lot of the building, the 2 towers were saved, as well as some of the artifacts, precious memorabilia and icons for the Catholic Church. But the Notre Dame Cathedral is a symbol in France, which I've been there. I've had the blessing to go there many times. So it's a symbol of the people. It's the soul of the city. Its stature stands right there on the Seine River. It's magnificent, and it's also humbling at the same time when you walk up to those 2 towers that frame the church. So that energy yesterday was very sad, and so I did my own meditation, my own prayer through the night, asking for salvation for all of us, because we all share this energy and this sadness. But it will be rebuilt. I understand there's a lot of resources. People of massive means are coming to the table to France and assist with the rebuilding, and the renovations will begin again, because I understand they were doing some renovations at the time of the fire. So we're going to focus on our intent for this reading. Remember, I do an energy reading for the entire earth, the global existence, and all of us that walk here amongst these stars under what we call earth. So I've shuffled earlier, as I said. I'm going to shuffle some more here. The tent has been set. Our intent is for balance and harmony that will take us through the week. as well as having that balance and that harmony, find love in our soul partners, our soulmates, over the next week. So, dear Shaman Oracle, we ask for our energy for the week. You can give us a card, please. One card, please. One card, please. I'm feeling the energy of these cards and determining. Can we get one card, please? Dear Shaman Oracle, please help us find the energies of this week. Ooh, that almost came out. It did not quite come. So we keep shuffling. Okay. Wow. We got many different throws here. So it looks like we got a lot of cards that this week's energy will encompass. And we're going to see if we can unwrap this one card at a time. So I have in my hand 4 cards. And we're going to start with the energy of the mystical shaman. Wow. Beautiful card. And they all jumped out. So we're going to go through it. And the cards that I'm using is the mystical shaman oracle. So the energy in that card will be resonating very powerfully. We're looking at a number 38, and 8 and 3 is 11. And that brings us to 2. But I had also discussed in other readings about the number 11. The number 11 is an angel reading. And so with the mystical shaman, that comes right into the spirits of this card, representing us this week, right off at the top on this Tuesday. As I said, it's a number 5 day. So changes. This is a great card to start off with. The essence of this card is a symbol of the myth maker and storyteller. Storytellers are very important in our spiritual world. We have scribes from Hermes all the way through to Moses and all the many other beings that have given us a written account of our past. And there are scribes here living among us today who are telling us our future and where we are today. It's a storyteller who is neither made of nor defined by the story. Instead, he observes it, evolves through it, perceives all aspect of it. In doing so, the mystical shaman represents the ability to dream a new story, a new myth into being. He dances between worlds, wearing the cloak of the world loosely around his shoulders, and sings the world into being. He reminds us to be in the world and travel through it, but not to be defined by it or become too attached to the experience. This is a symbol of true alchemy, for all elements of life have a spiritual aspect and a material one. When we remember this, all manner of miracles and manifestations are possible. The mystical shaman, and we talked about our energy being that of God and man becoming one. This card signifies that beautifully. There's a beautiful shaman pictured in this card, along with the underworld of the bird hidden in a shadow of the moon. The balance and harmony. The card is the card of shaman. And again, let's say Hickey is the key to the universe. And the mystical shaman helps bring that energy into focus more than any other card I can imagine. So our second card is sacrifice. I'm not surprised that we have the sacrifice card as well, because the sacrifice card brings into being that when we are in a change environment, starting today with the number 5, it said changes, that there's some sacrifice, and we are in for the Christian faith, the Holy Week. So with that being said, we have double numbers again, 44. 44 stands for another spiritual meaning of angels and guides among us, and it comes into 8 when we look at numerology. So if we look at the 44 number of the sacrifice, the essence brings to us that it's sacred. Sacrifice means to make sacred. The sacrifice is an offering of gratitude made from the heart. Yesterday, I came up for myself. I did a card reading for myself, and it came out telling me to write down 10 things, 10 people who you like to give gratitude, thank you for. And as I wrote down each gratitude of thankfulness to each person or thing in my life, my heart began to open, and I was overcome with so much emotion. And it was after watching, through the news, the burning of a sacred building that has been amongst us for over 850 years. It says the sacrifice of gratitude made from the heart, a feast of love prepared for spirit. In olden days, sacrifice sometimes involved rituals in which blood was offered to the gods. You read in the Bible, for example, where Yahweh preferred Abel's sacrifice of one of his lambs to Cain's offering of vegetables and fruits. In Middle America, however, we have the Lord of the Dawn, who came to teach that spirits preferred our songs and our prayers to the blood of human animals, which that's saying to us that instead of sacrificing, like they have done in history past, even in the Egyptian times, they made sacrifices of blood, animals to give up to the god. But we nowadays have come into a century where it's more appropriate to offer up prayers as well as song. A lot of religious practices involve some type of dance or singing. In other cultures, you have like the people who dance, they twirl, they spin, they use all types of icons to sing and dance in their worship. The invitation to this sacrifice is asking us that we offer to Spirit that which is most precious to you. In some faith, especially during this season right now, we are in a Christian spiritual holy season. People make many sacrifices during Lent. And it has to be a sacrifice. So if you don't care, you don't like chocolate, they say, don't say give up chocolate. If chocolate is one of those things that, it's your little heaven, it's your bliss, it's something you enjoy, you do it often, and you decide doing a Pacific time. This time it's called Lent for the Catholic. So it's like, you don't eat chocolate. That's a sacrifice that, you go through some kind of suffering. And I really made it, about chocolate because I like chocolate. But sometimes the sacrifices do have to be a little more meaningful, so that when we go through the sacrifice and come out on the other side, we actually have gone through some type of offering that was given from the heart, and it will elevate us when we go to the altar with that sacrifice. That, and you're praying during this time because you're meeting the divine at the table. You're belonging and becoming a part of that heavenly feast, and you're welcome at the banquet when you give and you sacrifice from the heart. I say the best gifts in life are the ones that we cherish the most, or something that we would enjoy. You know, sometimes when people re-gift the gift sometimes is not a sacrifice, because you gave away something that when you re-gifted it, you didn't feel that you would miss it. That's not a sacrifice. So the card is the second sacrifice, our second card. And here we have another beautiful shaming, and it has the birds in the new life. It looks as though here in the corner is a butterfly. And again, the sacrifice also means a rebirth, or to begin again, or a renewal once we go through the ritual of that sacrifice. Our third card, how beautiful, is the Tree of Life. Wow. The Tree of Life. Wow. It reminds me of like the Tree of Eden, you know, when Adam and Eve in the beginning ate from the holy tree. Here we have the Tree of Life. It has butterflies coming from its earth. It's twisted and it's knotted. The number is 5 and 8. That brings us to 14. 14 is 5. And at the beginning of our reading, we talked about today being a 5-day, and 5 stands for change. So appropriate. And these cards have these colors of the rainbow and deep, rich coloring. And that helps us with coming in touch with balancing our whole experience of being. And our intent today, again, was balance and harmony of the mind and body. And I'm going to say the spirit too, because this is all spirit at work, helping us to understand where we are in this time, this week, in this space. We are in a holy week. We are in a spiritual space. The essence of the Tree of Life is a sacred symbol throughout the Americas. Its deep roots reach into the lower world, the unconscious. When we talk about the unconscious, we talk about the unknown, the hidden, while its branches reach to the heavens, the source of destiny. To be whole in your life's journey, it is important to have deep roots and high branches. A tall tree with shallow roots fall into the first wind, but a tree with deep roots can weather any storm. I'm going to repeat that. A tall tree with shallow roots fall in the first wind. A tree with deep roots can weather any storm. To find health and balance in your life, reflect on how you dance with your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings. If you are too much in your head, you know, sometimes we spend our energy thinking about the past, thinking about what happened, thinking about someone said, he said, she said, and we go over and over what we should have said. And the invitation for us this week, instead of thinking in the head or living in a world of fantasy, daydreaming, But if we could just take more time and connect with our roots in our physical body. If you are caught in mechanically doing and you are feeling stuck, not able to imagine a better life for yourself, open yourself to be inspired by the heavens. Let your roots and your branches be aligned with your heart's longing. Wow, these cards are, it just always, I don't know, it just, every time it just resonates with me and it blows me away how the energy, the energy of the earth, the vibrations, how quantum physics, scientists today are spending so much time actually proving and showing that vibration and energy healing works. It works. And it is a powerful, powerful tool because it's something that each and every one of us has access to. It's not like, it's only reserved for certain groups of people or certain people with different type of economic status or education, but it is available for each and every one of us. We have to do the work and be in touch and aware and awaken to the spirits that are around us. Our fourth card is the coyote. The coyote to me represents a spiritual animal. Spiritual animal in when we talk about shaman or American Indian cultures, Navajo and Cherokee, they really are in tune because they are naturalists. They are survivors. They have worked and lived amongst the animals in the beautiful nature of this earth that God has given us. The number is 12. When we add 1 and 2, we come to 3. 3 is a symbol in the tarot for creativity. This coyote is filled, I see a lot of orange and I see a lot of yellow. And when we look at the chakras, we're talking about the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra sits right at the belly button area, just below, right up above the pelvic area is where we will find the sacral chakra. It is sexuality and pleasure. It is orange. It's a beautiful orange. And when we're talking about the sacral chakra, we're talking about our connection and ability to accept others and new experiences. Wow. The well-being of pleasure and sexuality. If there's a physical unbalance of that chakra, you may experience immune system, bowels, kidneys, or your reproductive organs may have challenges. For women, it could be being able to bear children. They have complications or challenges. For men, it's impotency. But when that chakra is in a beautiful balance, when it's spinning clockwise in us, that energy is moving. That means that we're able to send out a vibration across the globe. And it could be any continent, any country, any state, no matter where you are, your soul partner, your soulmate, some even call it your twin flame. When the both of you are in vibration and balance with your sacral chakra, you're capable of connecting with each other. You might have heard about telepathy, clairvoyance, dreams. This human person, and it doesn't matter, feminine and masculine energy connect and you're able to communicate with each other, even if that person is not even on earth. But that's the soul speaking to the soul. And you're in a relationship, whether you are in tune to it or not, with this soul connection. We all are. We all have a soul partner. We all have soul families. But when it comes to that sacral is our sexual energy. It's our life force that help us open up to love. And I'm not talking about casual sex. And if you are, which I know a lot of people today are looking for love, they're looking for their soul partners, their twin flame. You have to really focus on the sacral chakra, wear orange, and sustain from intimacy. And when you can do that and you are in tune with your own body and your emotions are coming into sync, you'd be surprised how the synchronicities and the spirits, how things just start showing up, in blessings and bliss. The coyote's essence is the symbol of the sacred trickster, the one who provides detours for growth and understanding. To ensure that things don't go as planned, the coyote brings the energy of divine deception to set you free from the shackles of that which does not serve you. Sometimes it appears that you will get everything you want, only to find that the coyote brings you the opposite of what you hope for. The lessons offered by the coyote may at first appear confusing, but they are most sacred and always for your highest good. If the coyote calls to you, this is a time to pay special attention to detours and disappointments, as they are a true test of faith. You have set your intentions and turned them over to the Great Spirit, yet you find yourself lost and confused when it appears you are being led off course, off the beaten path that led you to your most cherished dreams and desires. That's what you thought you were aiming for. But when the coyote comes, remember, he's a sacred trickster. And if he's sacred, just like that first card, that means there are forces working on your behalf that will lead you into challenges to ensure that you're ready to handle what you set in motion. Great growth and understanding comes to you when the coyote calls your name. Wow. So if you are on that path that you've been seeking your soul partner or your soulmate or the love of your life, there are going to be when the coyote comes in, there may be some people who come in that are opposite of what you thought you were looking for. But you have to remember, the coyote's scent, his trickery is showing you that you're stronger and you stay focused, and you will know in your heart of hearts whether or not that partnership, that bringing you into your sacral chakra is at play. If you find that you're having abdomen problems, you're getting, sick, gas, immune system that's radiating from that area is starting to have ailments, then you know that's a high chance, I would say 99.9%, that whatever's going on in your life, you're in the wrong direction, and you need to have faith and trust and not lose patience so that you can reach your truest dreams and desires. The next one is the sweat lodge. Oh, wow. I actually watched a program on YouTube about sweat lodging where people went into the mountains of Peru and they smoke ascawaya and then they went into these caves so they can have a spiritual journey. Many people seek out that higher feeling, not just an experience to do drugs and get high, but an experience so that they can reach their higher self, that they've read these stories that shamans, and actually this is a part of the shaman's work, that they train for. You can't just decide to open up a sweat lodge and help people reach a higher spiritual path. You actually have to have been chosen spiritually through upbringing, lineage, or an awakening. The number for the sweat lodge is 5 and 4, which gives us 9, and 9 is attainment. So that goes beautifully with that card. Let me move these cards. I'm looking and I think you guys can't see them, but you do need to see the cards so that the energy and the focus can actually reach you. Because again, we're talking about energy healing. We're talking about conscious energy. We're talking about being in touch, tapping in, dipping in, dropping in, however you want to label it, into these energies so that you can absorb and be a part of these blessings over the next week and, of course, beyond. The essence of the sweat lodge represents the womb of Mother Earth. Volcanic stones are heated in a fire outside, then brought into the lodge and placed in a shallow hole in the center. Participants sit in a complete darkness around the red-hot stones to sweat away old habits and beliefs. The heal disease. They can heal disease through this process. I know when I was growing up, my mom, when we would catch a cold, she would say, okay, I'm going to rub you down with Vicks. We're going to wrap you up and you're going to sweat it out. When you return humbly to the womb of the mother, you are offered second chances. The invitation of the sweat lodge is a time to journey inward into the dark and hidden places of your soul, to reconnect with the ancient earth wisdom. You can also create a sacred and intimate space in the dark by lighting a candle. Observe what emerges, and without judging it, invite it to bring you its gifts. You're being offered an opportunity to shed and heal from the aspects of your life you have outgrown. Do not worry that you will be consumed by the process. So the energy of this week, and not all of us have resources or opportunities to go to a sweat lodge, but we can go into meditation in our own space. Create a sacred space. Could be, a small spot in your home. Could be your favorite chair, could be your bathroom, anywhere where you can just go and go in and light a candle as they suggest. I also suggest playing maybe comforting music, or there's tons of sacred music out there. There's music on YouTube. There are wonderful people I've seen on YouTube who actually provides what they call color music, or music for the soul, vibrational music, tapping into those delta, gamma waves, theta waves that will help bring you into a state of peace and calmness, and then find a way to drop into the darkness of yourself and look deep and be honest. And when you do, and you come out on the other side of spending time alone with yourself, I try to do it every day. If you can't do it every day, you can do it minutes or moments at a time. But I would say when you are doing these practices on a level of the mystical shaman experience, which all these cards represent today, please make sure you're not operating any vehicles of any type, because you could hurt yourself or someone else. But when we tap into the mysteries of the universe, when we tap into the mysteries of this beautiful world, there's a sacrifice. But if you are rooted in the tree of life, if your roots have been nurtured, well tended, well weeded, you will come back out with the blessings and the gifts of the coyote. You would have sweated, you would have cried, you would have flowed with joy, but in the end, you would have achieved your balance and your harmony. Our energy this week is say, hey, Hickey. Say, Hickey, bring us all our heart's desire, our soul partners, our work partners, our soul family. Bring us into our week, that we come out next week after this holy week is blessed by the Sunday of Easter, that we all are saved. I say namaste.